Hi, I'm Nikki Thompson with the Colorado Urban Living Team, and we are here for Table Talk Tuesdays. And we're at our RE/MAX Alliance office here in Old Town, so you might hear some trains going by, and you might hear a few big trucks going by, but this is the environment we work in, so we love it. And we're glad we can share that with you today. And today I have a special guest. This is Miss Tavia Galvin.
Hello.
She's my business partner, and it is March. And it is a special month for Miss Tavia because it's her birthday month. Yes.
We celebrate the whole month here.
Yes, we do.
The whole month.
The whole month. And it's also, she's celebrating 10 years in the real estate industry this month.
10 years.
I know. That's a lot.
That's wild. It's wild because people ask me all the time and I'm like, oh, it's just been a little bit. And then I'm like, wait, I got to do the math here.
Yes.
It's been 10 years.
Yes.
I have seen it all.
You have.
But there's more to come, I'm sure.
Yes.
But I definitely started in the foreclosure short sale days to now this wild market. This journey we are on has been,
yes,
it's been a journey. I'm in it.
Absolutely. She's seen the full shift in the pendulum that
Yes.
that's why we're here actually to talk to you guys today. We are here to share 3 things that all buyers should know in the Denver real estate market right now.
Yeah.
Which means not just if you're purchasing, tune in, but also if you know of someone that's purchasing a home. This is all going to be valuable information to help them secure, find, and get that home under contract. So we're going to share 3 things today.
I would say that we're going to share the cold, hard truth of what it's like to be a buyer right now in this market. And I usually refer to it as a triangle. You have 3 points. You've got the bottom base and the top point. And to make a great triangle, you need a solid base. And I think the first point we start with is the agent. Buyers need to find an agent that they relate to, they connect with, that understands them, an agent that's willing to talk about risk management. That's what we're talking about these days is risk management. You need an agent who's willing to discuss your options of how to create an offer, which Nikki calls it the pie.
Yes. There's 5 pieces to a pie right now in the real estate market. And with every offer, our contracts are written in favor of the buyer. So there's 5 ways to get out of our Colorado contracts because we don't have attorneys involved with the contracts in Colorado. And so when we're sitting with a buyer, we're talking about risk management and what protections that were put into the contract do we want to remove in order for us to secure a house.
Right.
And one of these has to be chosen, one or all, depending on how much you want to risk to get this property. So the first piece of the pie, there's 5 pieces. The first piece would be our earnest money.
Yep.
If you're willing for earnest money to go hard or to give that directly to the seller going under contract.
And a little blip for anybody who's fresh into buying, earnest money is your good faith. It goes towards your down payment when you purchase. Some people would call it their security deposit.
Right.
That's what earnest money is. And that's due right after you go under contract. So it goes away quickly and you need to be prepared to have that liquid fund go away. Because a lot of people don't understand that it gets cashed.
It does.
It gets cashed.
So the 5 pieces, earnest money, as we just discussed, inspection. So buyers are waiving the inspection. They are waiving the right to object to anything that they find at the inspection, but they still have the right to terminate should they find something that they don't want to move forward with.
Right.
So they're eliminating asking the seller to pay for radon, in some cases sewer line, electrical, plumbing. They're willing to take those on themselves or just terminate the contract in general.
If it feels like too much.
Right. Then you have the third piece, which is your appraisal. So there's 2 options with your appraisal. You can either have appraisal gap coverage.
Right. Where what that means is if you are offering over list price and the property doesn't appraise for the purchase price, but more or less appraises at list price, you're willing to bring that additional funds to closing. And that can sometimes be, $5,000 to $50,000+.
So there's the appraisal third piece. The fourth piece is your loan conditions deadline. So in a builder contract, you pretty much eliminate your loan conditions deadline as well. And if you have gone through the pre-approval process and you've talked to your lender, which we'll get to that in a little bit here, that's one of the pieces of pie that you can eliminate. And then the 5th one is price. So all of those together create the perfect offer. And you just need to have an agent that's having these conversations with you before you're in the position where you found
Yeah.
the house that you want. And if they're not, ask them these questions about how to strengthen your offer, because it does nothing but guarantee that you're a few steps closer to securing that home.
Yeah. I think just to keep tagging along with the agent, having an agent who, this market's fast paced, and you need an agent who's knows your schedule, knows what you're looking for. If something comes up, they can get in and get you a showing. I mean, showings are booking up within hours of being listed. And with COVID, we have restrictions still, and I think we're going to have them for a while. So we can't have overlapping showings, which really limits how many people get to be in a home. And knowing that you have an agent who calls you every week, great communication skills, knows your schedule, and can jump in and get you a showing and make sure that you have an opportunity to get in, that's the key here to success. You really get one shot to see this home and one shot to make an offer.
Yeah.
And you need somebody who's on your side and can get you in that door as soon as possible.
Right. I think communication is key more than ever, because, you know, there's our mentor and our managing broker here at the office, Phil Shell, and there's 3 truths to the holy man. But I think the first one is important when discussing working with buyers right now in our market. And that truth is, doubt is the source of all suffering. And when you don't hear from your agent, I mean, you could set up a search and in your criteria, there's no listing for 3.5 weeks. And we're not kidding when we say that. There's not one property that comes up in 3.5 weeks. And agents are used to putting you on a search. And then when you see a property, you're calling them. And so that communication is always happening. But there are gaps now in communication. And so when you're not hearing from your agent, you have doubt. Doubt, am I doing the right thing buying right now? Am I using the right agent?
Right. Are they working for me? Are they looking outside the box?
Am I setting myself up for failure? I mean, if you're having those questions, then you need to reach out to your agent and just ask them to contact you more. I'm sure that they would, but communication is key more than ever. And then with all the stats that we're getting on a weekly basis, numbers comfort us, and we can comfort our clients with those. So the more information we have that's specific to your situation, not all the noise, just the information that's specific to you, that's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
That's right.
And I think kind of taking communication into our next point of the base of our triangle, if you will,
Number 2
is your lender.
Your lender.
You need a rock solid lender who, one, you trust. These are your finances. You need somebody who can communicate with you, explain to you what you're working with, help you understand what risk you are taking with every purchase. I like to call it an out-of-box thinking lender, somebody who can look at what you're working with and say, maybe if you pay off something over here, it might increase your purchase power. Or just kind of knowing what each buyer is working with, and a lender who can communicate with you in the level that you need them to communicate with you at.
Tavy and I were on a Zoom call with one of our preferred lenders, and they were showing us about appraisal gap coverage. And anyways, we won't go into the long story, but we all were watching her like a deer in the headlights. Our eyes were real big, and we were like, what are you talking about? But it was phenomenal.
But we do this for a living, and when a lender is talking to us and we're going, what? You can only feel so confused too as a buyer. Like, we need somebody that you say, whoa, like, say that to me so I understand what you're saying. And I think that's huge. And Nikki refers to this 5-star rating.
So we ask our lenders to give each buyer a 5-star rating, because we know it's all about risk management in this market. And if you're willing to take the risk, we're willing to jump in and take this risk for you. We need the lender on board too. So we need that third piece. And the lender gives a buyer a 5-star rating if they feel as if there's no problems if they void their loan conditions deadline, their appraisal deadline. And they've also asked them questions that are above and beyond just the mortgage application.
Right.
For example, has anyone in your office been laid off recently? And they're just talking about job security because of COVID, conditions that we're currently going through. So each lender gives our buyers 5-star ratings. Even if you're using your preferred lender, I'll reach out and ask them those same questions. And it all helps us in assessing your specific situation and where we're coming in with the strength of our offer. That's what it's all about.
And I think, like, you said something great. We reach out to the lender. Like, if we don't have communication with your lender, we don't always feel comfortable or knowing what you're capable of doing. So having a lender who's available on the weekends, I think
Yes.
is the biggest.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Biggest thing, because a lender that's a Monday through Friday, when I'm writing an offer for somebody that's 50,000 over, I need to make sure my buyer feels comfortable with what that's going to make their mortgage payment, that they understand if it doesn't appraise, what that means for their cash at closing. We need a lender who's willing to run those numbers for you on a Sunday, because if all offers are due Sunday, we don't have until Monday.
Right.
And then your foot is not in the door, and your one shot to make that offer isn't there. And
Well,
you need to feel comfortable.
Absolutely. And the agent might call you as well, or call the lender as well,
Yep.
just to verify that they've gathered all the information and just to talk to them because you're in the top 3. So you want that lender available to take that phone call
Yep.
and assure them that you are as strong as you possibly can be. So lender is
Huge. Because if you're making an offer significantly over, if I'm the listing agent, I want to talk to the lender. I need to know that it's not BS and that you can do it.
It's true.
There's no room for error here. And I think the other thing with the loaning or the lending process is that if you're approved for a 550 loan, realistically in this market, we need to be looking around 475, 480, 500 max, because you're going to need some room to grow with your offer. And if you fall in love at 550, everybody is now offering over 550, which only brings you in to the sadness of life. So we don't want that. And we want to try to give you the best guidance so that you have the best shot.
Denver market is unique right now. Even talking with other agents outside of the Denver real estate market, they have a hard time even grasping what's going on here. And so buyers, when they're talking to their family members outside of state, or they're talking to a lender or an agent that they had used when they're moving to Colorado, it's really hard to get all that communication and process what's going on. And
Right.
that's why we're here,
Right.
and that's why your lender is here to set that stage appropriately. Because it truly, when we say 50,000 above list price, that's probably a little bit below average.
I would say
with
it's
what's going on
currently average, but it'd be a lovely thought.
Yes. Remember, we are in March 2021
21,
right
yeah.
now. So when anyone looks back at this video, remember which month we're in.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think what brings us to our final point of our triangle is the buyer. It's you. It's we're holding you up at the point here, and it's your experience throughout this whole process. And I like to refer to the buyer experience as the Pixar movie.
I love this.
Inside Out.
I love this. I love this. I love this.
And it came to me, I don't know when, and I've got young kids, so
Like
I've seen the
August.
movie. Well, yeah, maybe even before that, but
Maybe.
I've seen this movie a million times with my kids, and it's true. So the Inside Out movie, you have joy, you have sadness, you have fear, you have anger, and I promise you will see a house and be completely disgusted because it's happened.
true.
It's true. It's true. And you will feel all those things in this process. And the hardest thing is to not give up.
Yeah.
You don't want to give up.
Yeah.
You will find a house, but it's going to be the right house, the one that you're willing to take the biggest risk. Can you guys hear the light rail? It's
That's our
happening.
train.
It's happening. You'll want to take the biggest risk on that house that you know is going to bring you joy at the end of it.
Yes.
And I would say our job is to always be joy.
Yes.
Because you're going to feel these things, and I hate getting the phone calls when my clients are willing to give up and wanting to give up. And it's not always a sprint, it's a marathon, and I'm in it for the long haul if you're in it for the long haul, and we'll find something great. It's just knowing what you're willing to risk.
Yes, we are positivity. It
Yeah.
all comes in the more knowledge you have, and the best way we can set you up is what we're here to do. So
Absolutely.
it might change weekly, but we're checking in with you every week so that you feel well taken care of. And we
Yeah.
are a channel of positivity.
Yes.
So these smiles are real.
These smiles are real, and they even get bigger after a couple cups of coffee. So don't worry. Don't worry.
Yes.
And Nikki says it best, though. We're problem solvers. We, through every stage of this market, we're problem solvers with sellers, with buyers, and
And I think that's all part of your experience too. When you look at it as, hey, listen, let's provide solutions for the seller so that we can
Right.
get our offer accepted. We talk about what that is, and there's 3 fear points for the seller. It's 1, am I going to be able to get to the next place that I'm going and smoothly
Right.
without any transition errors or mishaps. And then the second one is, am I going to accept the right offer? I mean, you have an offer choice of maybe 12 to 20 offers that are sitting in front of you. The pressure's on to choose the right one that's actually going to get you to the closing table. And sometimes that's not just about price. It's about how they set those other factors up in terms of the contract.
Right.
And then the third one is inspection. So what are they going to find at inspection? Am I going to have more money out of pocket at time of inspection? And so we analyze their problems and we ask those questions to find their problems so that you as a buyer can be their solution.
Right.
That's our goal.
Right. If they're moving out of state and you've got flexibility to give them time,
that's right.
Great. Let's use it to our advantage, because there's a lot of people who don't have that flexibility, and that makes you a better candidate. So
yes, I agree. So we talked about our triangle.
Triangle.
To sum it up, for as Tavia explained, we have your agent and your lender as the base, and then your experience in securing a home is the top pinnacle point
of
the triangle.
Yep.
And there's lots of questions, and we're here to answer those that you might have. And if you are not experiencing everything we talked about, reach out to your agent. We are in a different market. They may not be used to it. Tell them what you need. They'll fulfill it. They'll communicate with you more, and they'll be willing to maybe risk a little bit more for you at time of contract.
Yeah. Communication is the key.
It is.
It's truly the key to everything. And if you have somebody who's not giving you as much information as you need, just say, hey, I need more information. I'm somebody who needs a graph once in a while, or I need numbers or statistics, and just ask for it. If you ask, you shall receive.
That's right. And so Monday mornings, we all get together as a group. We all connect after offers and going through the showings for the weekend. And we have our own table talk every Monday, and we just wanted to take some time and share that with you. So thanks for joining us on Table Talk Tuesdays.
The cold, hard truth of being a buyer right now.
Yes, we appreciate you joining us.
Yes.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.